What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Straight Betting. Today is Tuesday, June 17th. I know this is obviously a video for NBA Finals Game 6. Honestly, guys, look, I'm going to do a little bit of yapping, so I will have time codes down below if you guys just want to skip to the plays. But I'm actually going to step away from betting completely for a couple months. Not sure if I'm going to do football. Not sure if, I mean, for sure, probably going to try to do NBA, but yeah, so basically, guys, why I'm doing this so early, or why I'm recording so early, is just because I don't want to think about betting for the next couple of days. I just want to get this stuff done with, get my plays in, and I am pretty anti betting early, but yeah, just doing this for my sake, I guess. But yeah, I guess another little thing, yeah. So like I said, I mentioned earlier, I am going to step away from betting completely for a while. It's nothing like problem gambling related. It's more so just caring about it too much, being unproductive with my time, feeling the need to sweat out bets, and like as a result, it's just like it's controlling my life a little bit too much, just caring too much about it, spending too much time on it. And especially it's easy for me right now with MLB and WNBA basically being the only things going on. Like I'm not passionate about either of those. So yeah, man. You won't be seeing me post on YouTube once this final ends. So I'm just saying this right now in case the finals do end in Game 6. And yeah, same with the Discord. I'm stepping away from that too. So yeah, just giving myself some time to really try new things in life and start like living and experiencing normal stuff again. Because quite frankly, guys, I've been um I've been limiting myself with how I'm managing my time. Just things like just normal things like getting dinner with friends and stuff like that, and like meeting new people, guys. I mean, for people who have been following me for a while, I moved from Minnesota to Charlotte, and I haven't really been doing the things I should be doing in Charlotte to like network and meet new people and stuff. So I'm going to try and experience new things in life, try new ways to make money. And yeah, so basically with all that, it just betting is just a huge distraction and a huge time thing. And it's like I'm at a point, I'm 23 years old, I'm at a point in life where I don't really have the self-discipline to just like do betting part-time. Like I need to be all in with it, and I care too much about it and stuff. So yeah, just giving myself a break after the finals. But of course, if there's a game 7, will be back posting for that. But yeah, like I said, love football, love basketball. I don't know about football. Like I said, I assume that I will be doing content again for football season. But at the same time, if I'm reverting back to old habits and I'm not being productive with my time, then I'm gonna have to step away from that too. So yeah, just a little life update. And yeah, just basically I'm saying that in case like the finals does end and you don't see straight betting any posts on YouTube for straight betting for a couple months, like that's gonna be why. So yeah. Anyways, guys, game 6, another really solid game for the finals. I think I do have 3 official plays that I will get to. If you do like this type of content, drop a like and sub to the channel. It means a ton. And yeah, let's get into it. Of course, guys, if you want to stay afterwards, I will be doing a game breakdown. And actually, let's start off with like setting the stage a little bit. So obviously, Game 6 is back in Indy. It's a 5-point spread, and I actually really like Indiana in this spot here. Like I said, I'm just gonna mention every single game, especially now that it's switching venues, right? Every game. OKC is just so good at home. They're so good. All the net rating numbers, all the defensive rating numbers are all backing it up. And yeah, and Indiana, in my opinion, is just they might be the better team at home. Like that. That's what I'm reading from the eye test. It took like a kind of a collapse and a Shea masterclass at the end of Game 4 for OKC to pull it out, but Indy controlled that game. Like, don't forget that. So I think the 5 points is a little bit too much. Obviously, there's some Halliburton questions going on and stuff, but I'll address them and how I'm feeling about those in a little bit. But yeah, man. Like I said, completely different game. This OKC defense is not going to be as good. Pacers offense is going to be better, and it's going to be tougher for the role players. We're going to see, Dagnall, I think, in a game environment like this, like really shorten the rotation to kind of how you saw it in Game 4 almost. So yeah. Anyways, enough yapping around. Let's get into the first play. I went half a unit on each of these guys. Aaron Wiggins under 10.5 PRA, and then under 6.5 points as well. So as you can see, it's at 5.5. there is a lot of 6.5s out there. Obviously, make sure to play that. And then yeah, there's still a couple 10.5s out there around the -125 range. So that's exactly what I played in terms of juice, pretty much. So totally cool with that. I also don't hate under 9.5 PRA. If you guys have to do that, I don't really like under 6.5 points. But under 9.5 PRA, I think is a pivot. If you guys, by the time this video is up, and like the 10.5s and the 6.5s are gone. But yeah, guys, basically, look, Wiggins shot the shit out of the ball in this game. Like, he started off, I think, 4 for 4 from deep, or might have shot 4 for 4, shot 5 for 8, but I think he started off 4 for 4 from deep here. I think he started off 3 for 3 from deep in this game. And both these games, guys, the trend is at home. We all know the role player at home thing. We all know that, like, I mean, obviously, if Wiggins is like just on fire, you're gonna leave him in, right? But here's the thing, man. Outside of those games where he came out absolutely scorching, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, right? So yeah, obviously he like didn't play good in these games. Like, I mean, it was polar opposite, right? But yeah, and then I think it's telling that these two games were at home, or we're on the road too. So yeah, this is just like basically fading a role player at home. There's a good chance that if he has a mediocre performance, he's playing 10 minutes. If he has a bad performance, he's playing like 8 or 7 minutes. And if he has like a really, really good performance like he has, then he's going to go over, right? But I mean, there's some stuff that indicates, like, for example, if you check FanDuel right now, him to hit 2 threes is plus 320. So maybe that's a good value, right? For him to hit 2 threes. But yeah, for him to hit 2 threes is plus 320. So in playoff games, let's go to like playoff games, right? Let's do his PRA. Playoff games, use a filter here. Let's go to his 3-pointers made. Yep, so 3-pointers made. So if you go to like two or less threes, then he's under this PRA line in 12 out of 16 games. So that, like, 3 or less, basically, or no, 2 or less. I said that wrong. 2 or less threes, which he's plus 320 to hit 2. Then he's under, in like I said, 12 out of 16 games. Like I said, he is plus 320 to hit 2. So if it's like 1 or less, so if he hits 1 or 0 threes, then even like I said, even like that 9.5 line, he is under in 12 out of 14 games. Go over to points, under in 11 out of 14. And then yeah, man. So like I said, I'm just selling high on Aaron Wiggins. He's when he has really good 3-point variance, yes, he's gonna crush, and that's like gonna be the case for everything, right? Can't really predict that. But you can predict like what the betting markets think, if it's like likely that he's going to hit 2 threes, and clearly it's not. And I just love that it's on the road. I love that he's coming off of a good game, so we're getting this. That's why we're getting this number, right? But I'd say the median outcome is he plays 10 minutes and shoots like 1 for 2, 1 for 3 from deep or something like that, and just doesn't like have the shots or the minutes to get over this PRA line. So yeah, I love the spot, man. Indiana's going to push OKC. It's just like a high leverage spot, and yeah, fading Wiggins coming off the big game at home. I think it's a perfect spot to do so. All right. All these are kind of like how I see the game going, to be honest. But the second play, obviously, guys, Chet Holmgren over 24.5 points and rebounds. This one was like moving all over the place and stuff. But let's quick go over to Chet, see if that's still there. And it is on FanDuel. But the rest, like I said, guys, if you need to play 26.5 PRA, I'm totally fine with that as well. It shouldn't be much of a difference. But yeah, look, so since these early games, I mean, Chet's been playing huge minutes, 35, 37, 34. And I think they, the start, actually, no, the starters in. But yeah, basically, guys, OKC's circle of trust, like circle of true trust, is Shea, J-Dub, Dort, Caruso, and Chet. Like I said, Indiana's going to push them to the limits. This is going to be a really, really tough game for OKC to win. And because of that, man, like this is going to be ceiling. I see ceiling minutes from Chet here. He's been pretty good on the series, so he's really been rebounding his ass off, and more Hartenstein minutes have actually kind of like been correlated with that. So been rebounding great. The thing is, guys, too, if we go to his PR, so playoffs head to head, it hasn't been great. He had like a 24-minute game in game 1, 28 there. But like when you do the math, and I already did the math, he is averaging 24.8 points and rebounds per 35 minutes. So like right on line with this line, right? But the thing is that he's shooting 38% from the field in this series. So do a ton of positive shooting regression. This dude's going to be closer, to like a 48, 50% shooter. He's getting pretty open threes when he's one pass away from Shea. he can score on Turner. Turner's been okay, but yeah, I don't think it's like a brutally tough matchup at all. I'm just banking on a little bit of regression, and I think that this is like an absolute minute ceiling game. So love buying low on Chet. I mean, he shot 4 for 15 last game. Yeah, didn't get the stripe. He had a couple like really bad no calls on his drives too. So yeah, man, just buying low on Chet overall here. Think this is a great spot for him. Just think that the minute ceiling is like absolutely going to hit here. I feel very, very confident about that, and love just like buying low off of like this 4 for 15 performance, right? So 24.5 PR, 25 or 26.5 PRA, totally fine as well. Yeah, just love Chet in this spot here to bounce back. All right, third and final play, and this one, you can definitely make a case that it's dicey, but I'm taking a risk here. I love it a ton. Tyrese Halliburton over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and looks like there's actually a 26.5 at FanDuel, and 365, even though it is pretty juiced. But yeah, then there's like minus 110s there. Look, guys, I'm trusting my eyes. I know Halliburton, yes, is he banged up for sure. Most people are a little bit banged up. But everyone was making a huge deal out of it, man. And if you just go back and like watch the game, especially the second half, he was moving just fine. Like, guys, what's Halliburton having like an absolute stinker is like a completely normal thing. Like this happens like all the time. Like where he just like looks like an absolute like terrible player. Like and people will clown him on social media. This stuff happens all the time for Halliburton. So he's coming off of that game. There is injury concerns for sure, but like I said, I'm trusting my eyes, man. He was moving completely fine. He just wasn't aggressive. Now it's an elimination game at home. Halliburton's like, kind of rose to the moment like every single occasion this postseason, to an extent. He's gonna be. I feel so confident that he's not gonna bullshit around this game. Like I said, man, Halliburton disappearing acts are just completely normal things. So yeah, you're getting like a huge overreaction to this number, and it's just like the perfect spot for Halliburton to like not bullshit. So he is averaging 28.4 PRA in the series. Like I said, he had a couple like really close misses. This game was a blowout, right? Yeah, this game was a huge blowout, and he saw 26. Then he was at 27. Kind of had poor like rebound stuff. I shot like 1 for 7 from 3 as well. So yeah, man. And then this game, just the complete Halliburton no show. Like that happens all the time. And of course, like if you get this 26.5, then it's like 3 out of 5 hit rate. And then one of the misses was at 26. So yeah, I'm buying low on Halliburton here, man. It's also 2 days of rest, obviously, which is very helpful. Yeah. Like I said, I've been fading Halliburton all series. Like it's not a good matchup for him for sure, but it's just like it's such a completely different scenario when they're back at home and OKC's defense is like human, right? Versus when they're on the road. And yeah, so it's a spot game, man. Let's see. We go to take off this head-to-head filter. Yeah, complete no-show. 4 points, no rebounds, 5 assists. And then I guess this game wasn't exactly the bounce back performance you would you would like to see, but yeah, this was also like that crazy blowout. Crazy blowout. Yeah, 16 PRA in a game against the Knicks where they lost by 17. Comes back with 40. Yeah, Halliburton just has these games, man. I'm not gonna like look too into it. People are gonna overthink this stuff and be like, "Oh yeah, guys, it was all the injury." Like, no, this is just what Halliburton does. So, yeah, buy low. I'll take the chance here on Hallie. All right, let's get into some of the other stuff. Like I said, man, this is an elimination game in the NBA Finals. So, Indiana's going to stick to their bench, though, I think. I do think that they're going to stick to their bench. Like I said, I'm on Halliburton. Turner has moments where he just looks lost on defense, man, and then Toppin just looks like the way better fit. He only played 25 minutes last game despite shooting the ball really well, which is like way less than he has been playing, way less than his teammates, his like starters played. So they clearly kind of went away from Turner to an extent here. And that's also in correlation with Tony Bradley playing more minutes. Which I don't know if they're going to stick to, but I will say the Tony Bradley minutes were actually a +2, and he didn't play any garbage time. It was Thomas Bryant who got it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to that, and that's definitely going to seriously cap Turner's stuff. So yeah, probably lean under on like Turner stuff here. I do have a couple other strong leans. I'll talk about Andrew Nembhard. I kind of am interested in his stuff too. But also, like I said, I went with Halliburton because I think Halliburton's sneaky, like, gonna be fine. So slight lean on Nembhard stuff. We go over to Neesmith. Guys, I really like Neesmith stuff as well. think he's just a nice buy low. Like I said, I'll stand on this that he's the guy that they trust more so, especially in a home game where they're not getting dogged, where the whistle should be a little bit more generous and maybe help him stay out of foul trouble, which has kind of been an issue for him this series for sure. Yeah, he's been good, man. He's been going over, definitely on some like positive shooting variance in some of these games. Like actually not even here. He just had a great rebounding game. Definitely positive. He was 4 for 5 from deep in this one, but yeah, we're getting some really low Neesmith stuff. He's actually been really rebounding well. Obviously, guys, it's like Turner's just a complete non-factor on the glass. So yeah, Neesmith and Neesmith not being the one who guards Shea is helping him a ton on the glass. He's averaging 6.6 rebounds on only 26.8 minutes. So yeah, don't hate going to some Neesmith stuff. Maybe average or putting like 4+ rebounds like a juice reducer. So yeah, I guess let's go over to TJ McConnell. Here's the last guy that I'm a little bit interested in. The thing is, his line is like clearly very well set, right? Very well set. Like he's been scoring like at will, and I think that OKC is probably fine with the way he scores, like tough pull up middies and stuff. And he's been injecting a ton of life into this team. So yeah, we're getting to the point where his lines are like probably fairly set, right? Yeah, obviously injected a ton. And like I said, I do think Halliburton shows up for this one, which would probably not be great for TJ McConnell. All right, guys, the Thunder stuff's like more so what I have big leans on. I just think this reeks of a Shea game and kind of a J-Dub disappearing act. Look, I mean, J-Dub absolutely been killing them the last couple of games. So if you're Indy, you're gonna probably try to make it a little bit tougher on him, right? Like he's been kind of like waltzing into the paint for easy drives, with like minimal help and stuff like that. I just think that like there's going to be some sort of adjustment that gets thrown on J-Dub, and of course just like baking in some shooting regression. And then you could sell yourself on J-Dub unders. That's where I'm thinking at least. I'm really just like at this point, I'm going off of game feel and market and where the numbers at in market for how my handicapping process is. I'm not really thinking too much about matchups and stuff like that because, guys, these adjustments are going to come so fast if there's anything that's being exploited. So, yeah, I'm more so just capping this game from a game flow perspective because I do feel very strongly about that, and from like where the numbers are at. So J-Dub is clearly like inflated because he's been hooping, but yeah, if they do try to throw a little something extra at J-Dub, he's probably due for one of those games where he just doesn't shoot the ball well because he's kind of playing over his head a little bit. So yeah, really like J-Dub unders here, like under points. I think there's like a 24.5, which is crazy. Yeah, there's some 24.5s for J-Dub, man. I mean, I really like this. And if this becomes more available, I'll probably end up hopping on it. Shea, look, guys, I think that Shea, this is going to be the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander game. That's how I'm feeling about it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Indiana to stop him. Look, I'm a big fan of like a correlated SGP here with Shea, like a 30+ points and under 7.5 assists is something I looked into. Only had 4 assists and 7 potentials on the road, and then he had 8 potentials, 0 assists. Guys, he's still barely making any passes, right? With how they're denying the ball from him. Same thing with how OKC's defense elevates, at home. It's going to be the same thing with Indy, raucous environment. These guys love to deny the ball. Yeah, man, Shea, I'm a big fan of just going back to like Shea's under assists. Obviously, you're getting a nice sell spot with him, having that 10 assists, 15 potential. Guys, the thing is, he had 15 potential assists and only 28 passes made. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, he's just 28 passes made, 25 passes made. I'm actually going to quick look this up. Let's go to his passes made, man, because he's barely even. So, like, let's go like 30, 32 or less passes made. Yeah, I mean, he's only averaging 5.3 assists in the sample size, and now it's like on the road where you have to trust role players to hit shots. Like, this seems like a pretty good look, honestly. So I actually might add this like on the spot. A Shea 30+ points and under 7.5 assists because he is just not making many passes. The ball denial is going to be crazy. Indy's going to be fighting for their lives, right? There's like absolutely fighting for their lives in this spot because it's a win or go home, obviously. Yeah, passes made have just been really low. And let's quick go to like the other. So it started off with like 38, then 38, then 33, then 25, then 28. So yeah, just absolutely trending down. The ball denial is going to be aggressive. It's going to be tough for him to even catch the ball a lot of these times. We know that they're going to be picking up full court. And yeah, so Shea under assist, I think is a great look, man. And then you got to actually, these guys that, to get an assist, like you have to rely on role players making shots. So big fan of SGA under assist and then over points as well. Just think it reeks of like a big SGA scoring game. Like I said, I'm on chat stuff. Caruso, definitely lean over on his stuff. Like I said, just the only people I'd be interested in playing overs in are going to be the Circle of Trust guys. And that's like the Shea, J-Dub, Dort, Caruso, and Chet. So, and obviously, like I said, but I wouldn't play J-Dub overs. Think that his lines are very, very well set. So Dort, like I said, just don't trust Dort to make shots here. Think that his minutes are going to be there, but don't have anything interesting for Dort. Hartenstein, wouldn't hate going to like an under stuff on Hartenstein. Think that Haliburton's going to come out aggressive here. Think that, that's like the one pressure point that they really can consistently hit with Haliburton is the Hartenstein stuff. So yeah, think that we see Hallie aggressive early. And let's see, he's 3.5 first quarter points for Haliburton too, guys, is pretty interesting. So yeah, kind of think that that's a good look as well. And yeah, like I said, he can hit that pressure point on Hartenstein. So yeah, think that it's not going to be a big Hartenstein thing. Case and Wallace, guys, I really like Case and Wallace's unders too. So Case and Wallace, guys, he just had an amazing game. He shot 3 for 4 from deep. And that was like the first threes he made of the finals. And he still only got rewarded with 17 minutes. So like I said, I do think at the grand scheme of things that Kaysen's in the circle of trust more so than Aaron Wiggins, just because he brings so much more on defense and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely concerning, guys, that Case and Wallace played 17 whole minutes when he shot 3 for 4 from deep. Maybe there is a scenario where, Kaysen, who has been very steady with his minutes for the most part, obviously they've been dropping since it came down to the bench. But, maybe there's a world where Kaysen only plays, 14 minutes or so. And also another young role player that you would have to rely on making shots. So really like some Wallace unders here as well. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it. Like I said, this might be the last video of mine for a while. So yeah, but definitely, like I said, this is definitely not going to be like a forever thing. I love this stuff too much, and I'm too passionate about it to like be away from this space forever. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for everyone who has like watched the video, honestly, who has who has liked and subbed, who has liked a tweet of mine. So yeah, very, 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 very grateful for all you guys, and best of luck on Game 6. Maybe we get a Game 7. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time.